Here we're going to do more adjusting entries. So let's start off with the first one here. Services performed but unbilled, $600. Again, we performed the services, we just haven't billed them yet. Okay, so that means that we've earned it, we just haven't received it yet. So we're going to do that by debiting accounts receivable and our accounts receivable and crediting our revenue account for $600. Supplies of $160 are on hand. The supplies account shows $1,900. So again, when we have a question like this, it's easy to do a T account and figure it out. Okay, so here's my supplies account. I have a $1,900 balance, but it also tells me that I actually only have $160 left on hand. So how do I go from a $1,900 debit to a $160 debit? Well, I have to credit it for the difference. So $1,740. So we know my supplies account is going to be credited because this is my supplies account and I credited it. So supplies, and when we use them up, we debit supplies expense. Okay, now here we have utility expense of $275 are unpaid. Okay, so we got our bill, we haven't paid it yet. Maybe we got the bill at the end of the month. So we owe this. We show we owe it by crediting accounts payable for the $275. And what are we going to debit? Well, what was it for? It was for utilities. So utilities expense we're going to debit, and we're going to credit accounts payable. Services performed of $490 were collected in advance. So again, we got this money ahead of time. Somebody came in and gave us money to do a job. Since we had not yet done that job, that's a liability. That is an unearned revenue. When we perform the obligation or the service or whatever needs to be done, then that becomes revenue. So I'm going to debit my unearned revenue and then credit my revenue account for the $490. Here it says $620 of salaries are unpaid. Similar thing. What do we owe? We haven't paid them yet, but we owe it. They've earned it. So we're going to debit salaries expense, and we're going to credit wages payable. Something like that, salaries and wages expense, salaries and wages payable, that's fine. So that's for $620. That's saying we owe our employees $620 for working. And then prepaid insurance totaling $400 has expired. Well, where is it sitting right now? Well, right now it's in prepaid insurance, right? So prepaid insurance, it has to come out of there, and we're going to expense it. Okay, I hope this is starting to make a little bit more sense than it was at the beginning. Once again, if you have any questions, please just let me know.